Hi everyone, I'm back with another video, and this time I'm going to be rescaping a 10-gallon aquarium. It's a small community aquarium. Right now it has 1 flame gourami and 4 Von Rio tetras, so pretty small, low stock, which is nice. Probably going to add some shrimp at some point, maybe an auto, maybe see if we can increase the tetras or something like that. So if you have any stocking ideas to add to what's already there, that'd be great. As for the scape, we're not going to change it up a whole lot. I'll insert some footage of what it looks like prior to this rescape. We had a little bit of an issue. It's kind of in a weird spot. It's hard to get to, kind of by a window, which is like rule number 1, but we had backing on it and a lid, so thought the sun probably wouldn't bother it too much, but we've had quite an issue with algae inside of it, on the walls, on some of the plants, and things like that. So just kind of starting from scratch, changing up the gravel to sand. I have preferred how that looks lately. I've been switching all of my aquariums over to sand with some planted substrate below that cap of sand, so root tabs. So have all the plants that were in the aquarium so far. I'm actually not even sure what this one is called, so if you have the name of this one, it has grown like crazy. So there's some really long pieces. There's a dwarf water lily here that gives it some nice pops of red. I like that. It's fun to watch that. It grows really fast too, so that's fun to watch. And then actually some lucky bamboo that's been in there. And I know that there's a lot of controversy over whether or not you can fully submerge bamboo and whether or not it will be okay. I did purchase it as an aquatic plant, and it's done just fine. It seemed to take off, not take off, I guess I should say, but the root systems, you know, they look pretty good. So they weren't like this when I bought them, so I wouldn't say that it's hurting them at all to be in there. You know, it looks pretty decent. So like I said, it's been kind of in a weird spot, this tank, so the light has just been like, this is an old 10-gallon Aqueon, I think, with like the hood and the light that's built into the hood, and that light's not great. It really doesn't illuminate much of anything. So I'm actually supposed to get a couple lights in the mail this Friday. I ordered from Amazon. They've taken like a month to get here, so one of them is for a terrarium with plants, and then the other one I was thinking about using as a grow light or floodlight for this aquarium to give it a little bit more spectrum and depth. Hopefully it kind of reaches a little bit farther than that Aqueon hood light does. So as for decorations, besides the plants, which are, you know, I think the main feature besides the fish, we have this little Zen Buddha man that's going in there, so it's kind of like a Zen garden, if you will. But it looks pretty nice. I'm hoping that it'll look nice with the sand and a little bit better placement of the plants. Now that they've grown out a ton, and I've tried to cut them back and replant to make it a little thicker, but these just kind of spread out and snake all around the tank and then grow up from wherever they're at. So I don't know if that's the light issue, that they're reaching for light. I might borrow some plants from another aquarium, or I might just stick with these. I haven't decided yet. So anyways, let's go to a quick time lapse of the scape. nothing too crazy special or anything, but you know, this is kind of the Zen vibe that my roommate wanted, so I like how the sand looks. I definitely, once this plant back here grows out again, kind of like it was, it had really taken over the last tank, so it's doing really well. I'm interested to see what the new light will do for it, and if it will help it kind of grow straight up. The idea is kind of have this kind of come out around the statue, kind of like a lost jungle type of feel, but with like a bamboo forest also. So, all right, I will get this into place and we'll fill it up with water and add the fish. Okay, so got the tank in place and filled it up with water. Have the filter running, which was the filter that was on it previously, so it's already got all the beneficial bacteria in it, ready to go. Just cleaned it out in the bucket of dirty water from the previous tank, or previous setup, and now I'm just waiting to let it kind of finalize. Make sure it's good to go, nothing's wrong with it, and prime the water, and we should be able to add the fish in just a little bit. So that was the rescape of that 10-gallon Zen Aquarium, small community tank. So I did add a couple trumpet snails that were in there. They were pretty big. I think I'm going to actually sift through the old substrate and make sure there's not a ton more in there. If they get out of control, I don't mind having pest snails. I do have a pea puffer tank as well, so pest snails really aren't an issue. They're actually just really great to have around in case I need a food source, or you know, drop some in for some hunting stimulation for the little pea puffer guy in there. You'll probably notice that I didn't have a heater on that tank. I do keep one on there in the wintertime a lot of times because it is by the window, but because it is by the window, when it's warmer, I don't need one. The water stays pretty warm. Even with air conditioning on and things like that, it's usually high enough for all the fish, you know, that live in there, that call that tank home. You may have noticed that I did add a back to it. On a lot of my aquariums, actually, I do have it's just cheap paper from Walmart, I think. And I'll, you know, cut it to fit the size, and that one I actually put black paper behind it too to kind of block out more light, hopefully to keep the algae issue down a little bit more, but hopefully, you know, it won't get out of control or anything this time, and we'll just make sure we're cleaning it as often as we can. Otherwise, let me know what you think of the scape. Let me know what you think of the tank and the scape, and if there's any other fish you would add, because there's only 5 fish in there right now and a few trumpet snails, so it's pretty low stock. Nothing crazy. So if you have any ideas or comments, let me know. Thanks so much for watching.